Well, that is new. It normally doesn't tell me that it's being recorded. I'm just back to recording now. I hope you all enjoyed that.
Oh,
Wasn't
I
that
did.
great?
Ugh.
So much fun and really different from anybody we've had come
Mhm.
before. I all I could think of was those tiny little pieces. I don't do her hands not ever shake, or I don't know. Maybe she doesn't drink coffee, but that was was really impressive that she could get those all to stay in one place. So if you look in the chat, her supply list is in there when she was talking about some things, and the chat will stay with us afterwards. So once Marge gets the coupon codes from her again, because that slide did go by kind of quickly. I tried to write it down, but I didn't get it all. We'll email everybody with the coupon codes and then the supply list. I'll pull it out of the chat and we'll put it all in one email.
Great. Thank you.
I did get a screenshot if you want me to just email that to you.
You got a screenshot? That would be
I
great.
did.
Oh,
I'll email
Dawn,
it
you're
to you.
amazing.
And so we'll just email it to Paula, and then I'll email the other
Okay.
chat to her as well, and then she can send out an email to everybody.
No, I can see a new quilt book being added to my collection.
I
Yes.
know.
I think it might be a good addition to the Guild library too. I know.
Yes,
it's
yes,
not
it would be.
today, but I got to make a note for Aradria.
Which one's the big question?
Yeah,
The modern one looks, if she has the techniques there for doing everything, and the modern, why not?
Mhm.
Get both of them, why not?
Yeah, I think she said the technique was in both of them, so I think it's
Yeah,
just
yeah, she did.
whichever one appeals to you more. Marge, you may not know this off the top of your head. Does she have her books on her Etsy site?
Yes, she does.
So the coupon code would apply to the books.
Yes.
Okay, great. Dawn, I don't know, was there a deadline on the coupon? Did you happen to see?
Hang on. It's no deadline.
Okay. All right.
But that's for the Misty Fuse. Oh, wait a minute. And then their Etsy shop. Nope. Just 2021. Thank you. 20% off our Etsy shop. No deadline.
Okay, good. All right.
Marge, you're incredible.
Oh, it wasn't just me, it's her.
No, but you found her and brought her home.
Well, it was Deborah, actually. Deborah suggested it. Anyway, it's great. She was wonderful. I really enjoyed it.
Lots of
fun.
It's a team. We're all a team.
That's right.
Any other questions or comments about Sue's presentation?
I feel like I'm copying her in a way, even though, I mean, I do Misty Fuse and I didn't know she was doing black and white. Like I've been doing black, white, and gray. I'm on my second year. So I feel like, oh gosh, I'm doing this.
Oh, there you go.
No, but your work is so different from hers. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so different from hers. I mean,
it's really unusual for me, having quilted as long as I have, to actually find somebody who's got something new in terms of techniques.
Sure.
And suggestions, and she had a whole mess of them. So that was really surprising to me. So I loved it.
Somebody asked about working with small pieces, and I use tweezers when I'm cutting. So I tweezers in one hand and scissors in the other, and like start, I don't start with a big piece of fabric, but cut it down and then use tweezers.
And also those Karen Buckley little green scissors, those are the best scissors in the whole wide world. I mean, she said K scissors, but that Karen Buckley scissors, Renee turned us on to those. Boy, I'll tell you, they're the best.
Yeah, I have a pair of those I like too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used the Kai. Those are really good too. I agree with those.
Well, lots of fun. And we have another great trunk show next month, something completely different, which I think is going to be really fantastic too. I have to say that of all the bad things that the pandemic has brought us, one bright spot for quilt guilds is that we have all these teachers who are accessible to us in a way that they weren't before. It's much more affordable. It's much easier for us to get them. It's easier for them. And I think it's really going to expand our horizons.
I agree.
As we go forward.
And just to make another note too, is that Global Quilt Connection website. You can go out there and they have videos of the teachers and you could get an idea. And there's a lot of teachers that are offering individual classes. In fact, like I said, Sue's got a couple of them that I'm going to be looking at. The one was fabric dyeing, and I forget the other one was a collage. but she's got some great, it's great to have those individual classes that are inexpensive. I mean, I think she's talking $24 for a class, and it's like, I can do that. You don't feel so bad. So go on to the Global Quilt Connection if you ever have a chance, and you'll see a lot of different things there.
Yeah, lots of different techniques. So if you haven't looked at that yet, I really urge you to do that when you have a spare moment.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of our own, not programming, but a little bit of our own meeting catch up. Dawn is going to talk about the Solar Flare Sew Along, which launches this month.
It does.
Woo!
I just have a couple minutes. So we've got 22 people that are signed up. Everybody that has signed up should have the pattern from me. I emailed it to you. Oh, I'm big now. And if you don't, just reach out to me again, but you should have it. I'm going to send an email out on Friday to those 22 people. So if you don't get it, please reach out to me. If you think you signed up and you don't get an email on Friday, please let me know. And we're going to talk about, preferred day and time to meet with Zoom. I'm going to kind of go through a high level project plan of what I'm thinking of doing for, how we're going to space this out by month. We did talk about at the face-to-face meeting, a couple people I think asked how, can we make it smaller, because it is pretty big. It's 75 by 75. I worked with Pam Abrams after the meeting, and who is an expert at making things smaller, and she could not figure out a way to make it smaller. I think if you're a good quilter and you want to try it and you want to make it smaller, you can like cut it down from a perspective of not doing it, like doing more like just the center piece of it. It won't be as much of a solar flare, but I think you could figure it out. But I am not I don't have the capacity to rewrite the pattern to make it smaller. And that's probably what would have to be done. You'd really have to look at every single piece. And I think I mentioned there's 300 or so pieces that have to be cut. So it's a lot to work through to make that smaller.
Also, if you look at the instructions, some of the pieces are already just 1 inch finished.
Yeah.
So you can't really make them that much smaller.
No, you can't make the whole thing and make it and shrink it. The only thing I was thinking again is cutting it so that you just
the center out
to the center and square up the edges somehow. I think you could do it, but and I think that's all I had. So again, if you don't get an email from me on Friday and you think you signed up, please get back to me on Saturday or as soon as possible, and I'll make sure you are on the list. But 22 people, I think that's a pretty good size group.
Oh, it's great. I'm really excited about that. And I promise the next sew along we will pick a smaller size project, but this was
free.
Fit into the theme of some of the things that we wanted to do this year. And I think we have a bit of a pent up demand to do something on a bold scale, because we've been doing very small projects. We haven't done anything together all year. So, but I promise the next one we'll get a small one lined up. Thank you, Dawn. I'm so excited about starting this.
Yeah, I can't wait to see everybody's fabric choices.
Any more questions for Dawn? Okay. The next thing, Pamela, are you going to speak about, can you talk to us about the machine embroidery group that's starting up?
Hi, everyone. Yes, we are going to have our first meeting tomorrow night at 7:30. We're going to have it at, excuse me, I should say 7, I'm sorry, on Zoom. And it's anybody that is interested in machine embroidery. So from the novice to the expert, or even if you don't have a machine that could machine embroidery and you're just interested in maybe buying it, you could join. So we're making it very open for anyone that has any skill. Some of you might be teachers. I'm probably one at the bottom as a novice for it. I've had my machine and done very little with it. So that's what we want to do, and just meet and see how we can get together and, who can help some of us, or we've made something and maybe we need the right backing, or we're using the wrong thread. So that's kind of where we're at with the group.
Great.
And just use it's going to be the same code like you did today to come into the meeting.
So tomorrow night at 7.
For tomorrow at 7.
And I think you're visualizing that this group is always going to be virtual, just because hauling around the machine and those machines are so heavy that they're not really transportable. And
yeah, a couple of people thought about doing it in person, but I know mine is like a machine. It's like 2 parts and stuff. So it's really a lot to lug around. And then you're going to need huge tables by the time you have the arms, and you have to be careful with that no one hits it or run into it, because it's very easy to break. And then that's an expensive item to get repaired.
right.
So I really think we're going to probably have to do this on Zoom. I mean, we can discuss with some of the people who wanted to do it live. Maybe we have a live demonstration or something and send it out. I don't know. I think that's something we can discuss tomorrow night.
Okay. Any questions for Pam? Great. I'm glad to see that this group's starting up. We've talked about this for a while. So, and there's always been a lot of interest. I mean, I think there are definitely people out there who don't want to take the leap of buying a machine without knowing more about it. So I think this is a really valuable resource. If you've kind of been on the fence, join them and see.
And please make sure that the experts come in, because we do need them.
I have a question about this on the technology end of it. I'm wondering if, and I mean, everybody's not going to have this. Part of this is being able, I would think, to see what someone is doing on a demonstration. And I don't know if there is some kind of a headset you can get that has a camera on it, so that, as people are doing it, it's not like you can pick up your laptop and, switch it around so you can see somebody's hoop and what they're doing. So somebody might want to think about that and see what technology is available at a reasonable price that maybe people could trade off from one meeting to another if a different person is teaching a particular lesson each week. That might be something that would help, that as you're doing something, you can focus the camera on your hoop and your machine and teach.
Yeah.
So just an idea.
Yeah, good point. Anybody else? Okay, Marge, we're going to talk a little bit about both education and the retreat.
Okay, so first of all, we'll talk about education, and we have Jackie Garrett coming in September. Of course, in July, the meeting in July, we have Daisy from Wormfolk, and so don't miss the July meeting. But in September 24th and 25th, Jackie Garrett is coming. We have to decide which classes she's going. She's going to be teaching 2 different classes. You'll be hearing a lot more information. In July, we can start the registration to where it's going to be. We'll have all that information by then of what the cost will be and the location. So stay tuned. We've got Jackie Garrett. She's spectacular. If you haven't taken a class from her, please consider this. It might be a little bit more expensive than normal, because she is an expensive teacher, because she's very popular and she's very good. So save your pennies. And in July, you'll hear more about it, but please make sure you remember it.
Yeah, she is, she is a past president of the National Modern Quilt Guild. She's been a real force in modern quilting in the United States and internationally as well. She is warm and funny, and she is a terrific teacher. She was born to teach. So this is a real opportunity to take a class from a master teacher. So I don't miss it. If you can possibly be there, don't miss it. She's not to be missed. And her walking foot technique for quilting big quilts or any size quilt is pretty life-changing. I mean, you'll be a lot more ambitious about the things you want to tackle yourself if you take a class in her walking foot technique.
Yeah, she's taught me so much about walking foot technique, and I've got both her books, and I use them every single time I do a quilt. I look at them and I just refresh myself on what she teaches. She's wonderful.
Yeah, I have a lot more confidence in certain aspects of
Yes.
machine quilting since I took her class. So really not to be missed. It's a big deal for us to have her come and to have her be here live. Yay. Okay, retreat.
All right, ladies. So, and gents, please make sure you start signing up for the retreat. I don't know if too many people have done it yet. I did mine just yesterday, so I was at fault too. So please make sure it's in the newsletter of where to go, what to do. I know that Debbie Zopp called me this weekend and mentioned that she was having problems because the gentleman that was putting her up, trying to sign her up, apparently didn't have our group. He did, so he was charging her more than what she thought she was supposed to pay. So I called yesterday to make my reservations, and he did, I made sure it's the Orlando Modern Quilt Guild group. And he says, oh, sure, I see it. And I quoted him the price that I was supposed to get. And he says, yep, that's the price. And I asked him how many rooms were left. And he said that there were a number of rooms left. So, like he had 5 in one and 5 in another. And I didn't go through the whole thing. But anyway, what I'm asking you to do is when you sign up, can you send me a note so I at least know? My email address is in the roster, but maybe just send me a note saying I've signed up so that I can get an I feel. Now in the next week, I will be asking the gal that, to sign the contract with us, how many, because she can, the person that we call can't tell me how many signed up, but she can. So I'll get a running count of how many. So just make sure you get your reservation in. If you have any problem, call me. They're very good about answering my problems. Now, I know last year they ran out of a particular kind of room that we were reserving, and they were able to get more of those rooms. So just ask me, let me know. I will work with them, and but sign up. It's a great time. I will be setting up a meeting with the gals that have volunteered to help in the next couple weeks. So we'll get that ball rolling. All of a sudden, like May started, and it's like, yeah, it's May. Oh, now it's June. It's like, holy cow, things are starting to go. So yeah, it's amazing how time flies. But,
Yes.
yeah, so please sign in. You can let me know so I can get a feel for it too. So how many are coming, and then I'll set up a meeting.
Okay, great.
And if anybody wants to volunteer, please tell me, because I know I've got a few girls, you people, and so if you want to, let me know.
It's not a huge job to be a volunteer. It's basically about assembling the little goodie bag and getting some door prizes, and it's a lot of fun. It's not a huge drag on your time. And Marge really, really needs somebody to take over doing this. I mean,
I think I've done it for 10 years now, haven't I? No, I'm kidding.
No, really,
It
it's
feels
been a
like
lot.
it.
It is time to pass this on. So if you work with her on the committee, I mean, it doesn't have to be one person in charge. It could be 3 people who are co-chairs, but please, we need people to. I know had Jennifer, was she interested in doing the retreat?
Yes.
So we've had a couple of people step up. We need a couple more, and if you'd like to take over from Marge, she would love that.
So also, by the way, I know that Sarah has said that she would help with door prizes. Anyone who can, I am not one to solicit for prizes. I hate doing that, and I won't do it. So if you have any vendor that you're familiar with that would like to donate a door prize, please let us know. Like I said, Sarah's kind of leading that, whether she knows it or not. But yeah, Sarah Luzon is doing that. So please let her know if you have some door prizes.
Okay.
Or have an idea of who to call.
Mention too that Ashley is our official matchmaker. If you'd like to go and you need roommates, please send your name to Ashley Gottschalk, and she's going to help combine you with somebody else if you'd like to have a roommate. So thank you, Ashley, for doing that.
Yep.
This is Carla. Marge assigned me to work on games. So anybody has any ideas, but I am investigating, and I found some fun sites with interesting ideas.
All right. Yeah, see, I've got a committee already. I'm telling you, you girls are on the ball.
Yep, you're on your way.
Yep.
Any other questions for Marge?
Yeah, I have one.
if we have something we want to donate to be a prize, do we just bring that to the exchange day? Or how do we get that to you?
That would be great. That would be great.
If you bring it to Exchange Day, I'll get it to Marge. Thanks.
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
Do you know what time room check-in is? And can we start sewing that Thursday?
I'm assuming it's like other times, and I haven't really, the contract was just a copy of the other years. So the room was opened at noon, but then you check in at 4. So Thursday at noon, it starts. And then 4 o'clock is when you check in. So we always would bring our stuff in and then check in.
Sometimes you could get into your room, sometimes you couldn't.
Right.
So, you know, it's kind of the typical hotel thing, but if you couldn't, then everybody just slipped all their stuff into the ballroom and checked into
That's
their.
right.
But the actual retreat will start at noon on Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah, they, you know, the bellmen are so great. They take all of our stuff around and they're just wonderful. So,
yes, they like us because we tip them well.
Yes.
Remember that, everybody. We always tip them. We always tip those barmen. Listen to the.
I know what's on your mind.
I tip the barmen too.
Yes, so right where your mind went. Does anybody else have any other questions in general? Because I'm just about to wrap things up. I do. Oh, one thing I don't want to forget is oh wait, I saw a hand up. Did somebody have a hand up for a question? Yeah, Tanya. Can you unmute yourself?
Oh, I figured it out. Being new, is there some place where information is all together about focus groups or interest groups or whatever you guys have going on?
Yes, our blog.
Okay.
Dawn has just recently redesigned for us, so it's much more accessible. So
okay,
all that is on there.
Awesome.
Dawn, I think, I don't know where Dawn is. The machine embroidery on there?
I don't know.
Okay.
You keep giving me all this credit, but it was really Paula.
Well, Paula and Dawn. I should have said that, but yeah, Paula and Dawn.
But Paula, I haven't posted anything on the machine embroidery. Have you?
I don't know if she's still with us. She had some house stuff.
Oh. Okay. I'll check it.
We'll get it on there if it's not, but just check the blog. And then Tanya, if you have any questions, anytime you want, either email me or email the guild, you know, the Gmail account, and we'll solve it all.
Okay.
Okay. And one last thing, I just want to make sure everybody saw the video that came out that Sarah and Charlene made with the volunteer from the NICU at Winnie Palmer, talking about our current charity efforts to make the taggies and the incubator covers. It was very interesting to hear how this woman came to be a longtime volunteer at Winnie Palmer. They didn't go into detail about the technical aspects of it, but she looked at the things that we had made and verified that's what they need and gave some more specifics. It's really helpful. It is on our YouTube channel, and there was also a link to it from the latest newsletter. And I do want to say a big thank you to Sarah and Charlene, who I feel like have turned into our news reporters for the OMQG YouTube channel. They're like our roving correspondents now, which I appreciate so much. But take a moment to check out that video. Okay, next month we are back via Zoom, normal day. We have another wonderful speaker coming in. And in August, again, watch carefully. Will be a date change. We'll try to get the date out to you as quickly as we can, and then the rest of the information may follow, but we'll try to resolve all that really quickly. There is not a show and tell today. We didn't have really very many submissions. I think people were busy. So we will hold the show and tell until next month. So make sure you get those pictures into Paula, and in a timely fashion. The sooner you can get them to Paula, the better, so she can get the video together. But we will have a show and tell video next month. So days, yes, thank you. I'm just seeing things pop up in the chat. Mary, did you want to talk about them, or did you just want to remind everybody about So days?
Well, I just want to remind everybody, last time I managed to be on this from here down, I apologize for that. Everybody looked at it. But we have a group of kind of regulars, maybe 8 of us, varies on different days. But we have a So day literally every weekday, except the day of the meeting. And they are always from 10 to 12 with the same information you use to get to this meeting, the same ID meeting number. And then on the exchange day, it runs from 1 to 3 instead, because half of us are at the exchange. We do it 2 Saturdays a month from 1 to 3, and that includes this Saturday and then 2 weeks from now. So Tanya or anybody who is looking for things, I mean, you sit at your own machine, you use, some people come on their phones as well as iPads. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And I have gotten so much done this year by spending 10 hours a week devoted to sewing. I mean, it's incredible, but I've also learned a tremendous amount of all kinds of stuff, from how the heck to ever get an appointment for a Seminole County shot in January to lots of things about sewing. We share information all the time. So we love having new people join us, but we have somebody assigned to each day just to be sure there's always somebody there.
Great, Mary, thank you. Oh, and that made me think of something. I've been in touch with the Maitland Library about in-person sew days resuming. And so we're also targeting August for that to resume as well. I'm going to confirm that with her. The Maitland Sew Day is at the Maitland Library, and it's always, well, let's say it's normally on the Monday after our meeting. So we're always the first Wednesday. It would be the following Monday. There are going to be a couple of changes to that just because the library has some other uses around election time, but that calendar will be coming out once I confirm all the details with her. I don't know if there'll be a capacity limit. We'll get all that worked out, but we are shooting for the Maitland Sew Days to resume in August. So look for that information to come back out. We will still keep offering the virtual sew days as long as people want them. This is the great advantage of Zoom. So that'll still stay a presence for the Guild. Anything else before I lose my voice? Sorry, I'm fading. So probably a good time to end. Okay. It was lovely to see everybody. Have a great, great month. Hope you get some sewing done, and we will see you back here in July.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.